Yes, it's an interesting conference. I think it's one of the leading ones in the industry, where all the major stakeholders meet. I've attended the one last year in Bremen, and I was impressed by the setup and also by the opportunities to network, which is crucial, I would say, in this new and evolving industry, as it is a system approach that we need to take. So it's critical that we have these opportunities to come together as different stakeholders along the value chain, going from regulatory affairs, EU level, national level, to technology supply, to logistics, transport, storage, utilization opportunities, or providers, as well as the emitters who are facing the challenge of decarbonizing, either through alternative fuels or through carbon capture if there's no other alternative available. So I think that's the strength of this forum, and it's an honor to chair the part of the conference. Lots of elements that need to come together to make a successful carbon capture and utilization or transport storage project. I think examples are the Longship and the Northern Lights project, and where the CO2 is captured on different facilities, transported by ship, and then injected into the Norwegian fields. But then also an interesting one is, for example, the Ørsted project in Denmark, where there's actually a bioenergy carbon capture and storage project where negative emissions are created, which helps the value chain. So it's, for me, the key topics are what are the regulatory developments, and because there are quite a few challenges there. How do you go about, well, how do we solve cross-border transport of CO2? How do we address permitting? How do we address funding, stimulation of the markets? So that's the regulatory framework, and then there's the business case, which is in the end what drives all these projects. So how is the business case positively influenced? So part of it is the squeeze that the emitters feel with the ETS, if they fall under ETS, and the prognosed increase of the ETS. But on the other hand, it's the reduction in costs as more and more carbon capture projects are developed, and transport and storage or utilization with the onset of cheaper and cheaper green hydrogen are maturing. So all those elements and how these then can come together in time, and that's I think the critical one, is they need to come together at the same point in time, because no one's going to capture CO2 if there's nowhere to go with the CO2, but no one's going to put in infrastructure for CO2 if there's no CO2 captured, and in the end no one's going to offer storage if there's no one transporting the CO2 to their specific storage site. So it's quite a few elements, and that I'm interested in. We're not going to resolve them, obviously, at this conference, but it will be good to get updates on where everyone is, and energize each other and say, okay, well, we're all heading in the same direction, and hopefully coming together at the same point in time to make at least the initial movers, the early mover projects happen, which then creates the momentum, hopefully, for the complete system to roll out. Generally, the conference is good to share information, but in the end, it's what we're going to do with that information, and it's the discussion afterwards. So panel discussions are good because they make you think. They share new insights. But for me, the key is actually the opportunity to network, not so much to sell more or create new contacts in the sense that there is a benefit or value to be extracted from it, but really to get the insights of other people and share so that we together, because this is going to be a joint effort, can actually move this forward, this decarbonisation. So it's really the combination, and that's, I think, the strength of this event. It's the fact that there is a conference, but there is also the expo with all the stands that facilitate places for information exchange in a less formal way, and as a result, a more inviting way to connect and to see, okay, can we connect the dots, and can we actually work together in the long run? Can we share information that facilitates, helps project move forward? So that's for me the key one. It's really the people, and I think the people make the conference. Um, well, the challenge is from a the technical side of things. I don't think that many challenges. Obviously, yes, execution of projects, if the practicalities around EPC contracts, finding resources, planning, those are all relatively well-known challenges. So I think from a say value chain, all the technologies are there. Everything is there. It's just trying to connect those. So I'm really from the carbon capture part, so where we are at the emitter side, extracting the CO2 from the flue gas, readying it for further use. But the interesting thing is, okay, the development of this whole network that I spoke about this earlier, this system, and all the hard and soft aspects of that. So connecting it all and making that for everyone a true value chain, right? So that everyone is actually has an incentive to contribute. And I think that is where the challenges lie, and the opportunities, as you see on the map currently with the projects developing, are mainly driven by the North Sea basin. So the countries having the direct access to the North Sea, mainly the Netherlands, Norway, UK, and Denmark, and slightly behind it is Germany. They will be the early movers. We see the projects in the Netherlands, Porthos and Aramis following quite shortly afterwards. We see infrastructure and value chain developments cross border with the Delta Rhine corridor from the Netherlands to Germany. There is within Germany the OGE network. There's connections between France and Denmark, the green sand. So that's all the early movements in that new industry, which are going to accelerate in the end the rollout of this all these solutions that contribute to the decarbonization. So that's the transport storage, and mainly the CCS part of the picture. And then there's the other picture, which is the CCU, and that's around decarbonizing our whole society. How are we then in the future going to cover our carbon need, as we have a chemical carbon need with all the plastics and all the other chemicals that we use to sustain our way of living. And that's an interesting discussion. And yes, we need to start balancing that carbon capture and carbon reuse to match the demand, and that's the second opportunity. A bit longer term, I would say, because it leans heavily on the developments of the hydrogen costs. But once green hydrogen is available in large quantities at low prices through conventional routes that have been tried before, Fischer-Tropsch or methanol, we can develop a completely new decarbonized, no fossil or low fossil chemical industry, which can also be partly a fuels industry for the intermediate period. So I think those are the longer term opportunities, and it's interesting to hear then the views, the timelines that people see the developments come, and how we can, yes, make this picture of the future happen.